This is the Rocket Rhino, and in my opinion, it's the small downhill board that every single rider needs. This thing has features I didn't know that I needed in my life. And really, in my opinion, this board is a masterpiece. That's not to say it's perfect, because perfection is subjective, but it is a masterpiece, and I'll go into why I describe it that way. So there are a few things that really stand out about this board. Number one, its construction. Number two, how durable it is. And number three, it's concave. Its concave is what really sets this board apart from all the other downhill boards that I've tried. In terms of construction, you have a 8-ply with a bit of maple and I think bamboo sandwiched between some carbon fiber layers. This is quite different to the micro construction. The micro is significantly lighter when compared to the Rhino, and I actually spoke to Rocket about this and asked them why they changed the construction, and this is what they had to say. You guys went with more of a traditional construction this time. Why is that? The micro was lighter weight, had like urethane bumpers and the different construction. Like what changed this time? What was the
Again, that's what I said before. We listen to what people want, and I see that weight is not as important anymore as it was earlier. And what I see now, what is really important is durability. And now we're going with a only maple and carbon fiber construction, which is actually the most durable construction we have. And it seems to be really important for people now. That's what we wanted to do, because like the Rhino is a board that you send really hard, you go in fast, and that means you also get impact. And we could see that with constructions like the micro, they are good, but the maple construction is actually more durable, and that's why we chose to go with this construction. Actually, there are more advantages. It is the stiffness and the way the board keeps the stiffness, because of the different construction, the board is a bit stiffer than, for example, a micro, and it stays stiffer because there are a lot of fibers in it, and they don't really change over time. So you get more board for your money, actually, because you can ride it longer.
And having ridden both the Rhino and the micro, I think that change in construction with the focus on durability is worthwhile, because these are boards that you're going to be going super fast with, trying crazy things with. It's likely that you're going to be sending them into a curb. So knowing that the board can withstand that is great. Also knowing that it's going to hold up and feel really good for years and years of riding is amazing, because to be honest, man, like once you buy this thing, it might be the only thing you ride. So, you really want to get your money's worth. But like I said, what really stands out about this board is the concave. It has features that are so classic of Rocket boards, but it allows you a ton of adjustability and to really get the perfect foot positioning to allow you to interact with the concave how you need, to allow you to get like the perfect width for your stance, the perfect distance between the trucks, all that stuff. So let's break down the concave. You have a micro drop at the back, you have a little bit of rocker, you have a very mild W, and at the front you have, I think they called it a tub or a radial concave that cradles your entire foot. Also, you have a bit of like micro drop at the front here, but it's not super noticeable. If you guys also want to, I have the full interview with Daniel from Rocket up on my channel. Go check it out. He also dropped some really interesting news. So yeah, it is worth your time. Okay, so I'm about to really go in and explain why this concave is incredible. But the two things I want to get out of the way. The concave is very comfortable. It's not too steep. It's not too aggressive. It cradles your feet comfortably. You guys have been following this channel for a long time. You know that I hate aggressive concave. This is insanely comfortable and ergonomic. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Let's start with the front. The concave at the front is like aggressive, but still really natural, mellow, and ergonomic. Usually I thought that you either have really aggressive concave or you throw it all away and you just have a really mellow board that's practically flat. But no, Rocket have managed to give us like a board where you can actually feel the concave, but you're still really comfortable when you're riding around. Also, because you have like a bit of like a micro drop or like something here, I don't know what it's called, but the board does raise up a little bit. You have something to push against with your toes, when you're doing toe sides. But the front is insanely comfortable, and yeah, well done Rocket for making this behemoth sick. But the real star of the show is the micro drop in the back. Okay, Abuga, I know you guys are saying, okay, Abuga, it's just micro drop. Why is it so amazing? So this thing feels like the most comfortable torque block I have ever used. It's like they made it perfect, right? And let me explain why that's important. You see, most downhill boards, for example, like this Prison Fox Pro, you need a torque block at the back to give yourself a reference point and something to push against, because you typically aren't going to have too much concave, right? Some people don't use a torque block, some people need it, but I think majority sort of do. And having put a bunch of time on a board with a torque block and on boards without a torque block, I really think a torque block for small boards are necessary. They just give you, you know where your feet are exactly, you have something to push against. Transitioning from toe sides to heel sides is super easy, super quick, super natural feeling. You really need it. Some people don't need it, but I think most do. However, setting up a torque block is a really awkward thing. Making sure you get the perfect material for it, making sure you line it up perfectly, making sure it's long enough, short enough, or whatever. It's really actually difficult, and when you set it up wrongly, it feels really weird and you hate it. When you set it up right, you still think it feels a little bit weird and you hate it. So it's a very finicky thing, and it's a bit of a dark art, in my opinion. And that's where the genius of this comes in. It feels incredibly perfect, and because it's a part of the board, it feels super natural, right? It doesn't really feel like you're pushing against a big block or something. I don't know how else to explain it, but it feels really ergonomic and natural, and it feels good. And honestly, I really didn't know that I needed something like this on my downhill board, because after riding it, it makes so much sense. It's added so much to my riding. I feel so much more comfortable. I can just transition between toes and heels so much quicker. I can skate a lot faster and do a lot more things with more confidence. And honestly, like, it's just like rocket, like just engineered something. Like I didn't know that this is what I needed in my life. I didn't know that there was more. You could do a lot with concave still. I thought flat boards were the future. Anyway, but hats off to Rocket, and I really think anyone who skates this is gonna have the mind blown. So hats off to Rocket. Thank you, Rocket, for sending this to me to review. Thank you, Daniel, for allowing me to do an interview with you. And finally, touching on the cost, this is an expensive board. It's not cheap, but it's well worth the price. I would 100% pay full price for one of these. I swear, if it gets run over by a car or breaks or something horrible happens to it, I would happily pay full price for another one, because this is a board that I'm not going to step off of for years to come, and that I'm going to keep riding, and that is genuinely added and enriched my downhill life, and it's just so good, and you guys need to go out and get it. And yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've ridden this board before, do leave a comment. Interested in seeing your perspective. And yeah, as always, catch you guys in the next video. Take care. And about the no perfect thing, I kind of forgot. The board is a little bit narrow. It does feel a little narrow under my feet. But again, that's subjective to my tastes. And I'm still riding it well, so I don't know. But genuinely, there's nothing perfect. And yeah, the board does feel a little bit heavy, but doesn't negatively affect your riding at all. And I think it's worth it for the durability. But I feel like there should be a middle ground between heaviness and the construction and the weight. But yeah, stoked on it nonetheless.